Picture this: a rugged Wyoming mountain, two cowboys, and a love so forbidden it could tear their world apart. In 2005, Brokeback Mountain didn't just hit theaters, it detonated, blowing open the doors of mainstream cinema with a story that refused to be ignored. This wasn't just a movie, it was a seismic shift, a gut punch to a world steeped in prejudice. 20 years later, we're still feeling the aftershocks. But how did a low-budget film about two men in love become a cultural juggernaut? And why does it still haunt us today? A love story that broke all the rules. In the summer of 1963, Ennis Del Mar, Heath Ledger, and Jack Twist, Jake Gyllenhaal, meet while herding sheep on Brokeback Mountain. What starts as a fleeting connection ignites into a passionate, secret romance, one that society and their own fears would never allow to thrive. Directed by Ang Lee, this neo-Western romance, adapted from Annie Proulx's short story, wasn't just about love. It was about the crushing weight of homophobia, the ache of lives unlived, and the courage to feel something real in a world that demands conformity. Made for a modest $14 million, the film galloped to over $178 million at the box office, proving that a queer story could draw crowds. It snagged 3 Oscars: Best Director, Best Adapted Screenplay, and Best Original Score, but the sting of losing Best Picture to Crash still burns. Michelle Williams, who played Ennis's wife Alma, didn't mince words on Watch What Happens Live. I mean, what was Crash? Her shade echoed the frustration of millions who saw Brokeback as a robbed masterpiece. Why does this matter? Because Brokeback Mountain wasn't just a film, it was a rebellion. It took the cowboy, the ultimate symbol of American masculinity, and made him queer. It forced audiences to confront love, loss, and prejudice in a way Hollywood had rarely dared before. A tale of heartbreak and defiance. Imagine the scene: a windswept mountain, 2 men sharing a cigarette by a flickering campfire, their glances heavy with unspoken desire. The chemistry between Ledger and Gyllenhaal was electric, their performances raw and unforgettable. Ledger's Ennis, all stoic repression, and Gyllenhaal's Jack, burning with quiet rebellion, captured a love that was both tender and tragic. "I wish I knew how to quit you." Jack's iconic line became a cultural shorthand for love that defies logic and societal norms. But the road to the screen was fraught. Casting director A.V. Kaufman revealed the struggle to find actors willing to play Ennis. Actors would commit and then back out, or they were too afraid based on what their representatives were telling them, she said. The fear of being typecast or ostracized loomed large in 2005, a time when homophobia was still a potent force in Hollywood. Yet Ledger and Gyllenhaal dove in, delivering performances that silenced doubters. The media fallout was immediate and polarized. Critics hailed it as a masterpiece. Roger Ebert called it a movie about love, not sex, but others reduced it to that gay cowboy movie. Comedians like Jon Stewart leaned into the jokes, and late-night shows turned it into a punchline. Film critic Alonso Durald recalls, "It became synonymous with gay jokes, a bitter pill for a film that bared its soul." On X, users still debate its impact, with @MKenobi noting, "Heath was very proud of Brokeback Mountain and never hesitated to call out the homophobia thrown their way." The Academy's snub, with members reportedly making homophobic remarks, only fueled the fire. Social media reactions on X show the film's enduring grip. @InRaiquianart posted, "Brokeback Mountain proved that a narrative about queer characters could resonate with moviegoers across the spectrum." Meanwhile, @TheWrap celebrated its legacy. 20 years ago, #Brokeback Mountain redefined queer cinema with its tender, tragic love story. The conversation rages on, with fans and critics alike dissecting its place in history. A turning point in a hostile world. To understand Brokeback's impact, rewind to 2005. The US was grappling with debates over same-sex marriage, and "Don't Ask, Don't Tell" was still military policy. A mainstream film about 2 men in love wasn't just bold, it was revolutionary. Based on Annie Proulx's 1997 short story, the film leaned into the raw pain of internalized homophobia and societal rejection. Ennis and Jack's lives, marriages, children, and secret rendezvous reflected the real struggles of queer people forced to live in the shadows. The film's success paved the way for later queer cinema, from Moonlight's poetic triumph to Call Me by Your Name's lush romance. But as Durrell points out, the anticipated flood of similar films never fully arrived. Hollywood got cold feet, he said, citing the industry's reluctance to take risks on queer stories unless they were safe or marketable. Still, Brokeback's influence is undeniable. It was selected for the National Film Registry in 2018, cementing its status as a cultural treasure. The casting debate remains a sticking point. Today, some argue queer roles should go to queer actors, but Kaufman defends her choices. Heath and Jake brought truth to those characters. Ledger's preparation was intense. He barely spoke on set to stay in Ennis's headspace, while Gyllenhaal's vulnerability as Jack broke hearts. Their authenticity trumped any controversy, proving that acting, at its core, is about empathy, not identity. A story that still cuts deep. Let's get real. Brokeback Mountain hurts. It's not just a movie. It's a mirror to a world that's still grappling with acceptance. Watching Ennis cling to Jack's shirt in that final, devastating scene, I felt the weight of every love story forced into silence. It's a reminder of how far we've come, and how far we still have to go. The film's courage to tell a queer story without sanitizing it feels like a middle finger to every bigot who tried to dismiss it. But it's also a love letter to anyone who's ever had to hide who they are. That's why it still matters. The casting debate remains a sticking point. Today, some argue queer roles should go to queer actors. Ledger's preparation was intense. He barely spoke on set to stay in Ennis's headspace, while Gyllenhaal's vulnerability as Jack broke hearts. Their authenticity trumped any controversy, proving that acting, at its core, is about empathy, not identity. The Academy's snub? A disgrace. Crash might have had its fans, but it's a footnote compared to Brokeback's legacy. The homophobia that tainted that vote is a stain on Hollywood's history, but it only makes the film's triumph sweeter. It didn't need a statue to change the world. What's your take? What did Brokeback Mountain mean to you? Did it change how you see love, cinema, or society? Should queer roles only go to queer actors, or is acting about transcending identity? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I want to hear your stories. And what's the one scene that still wrecks you? For me, it's that shirt scene every single time. If Brokeback Mountain's legacy hit you as hard as it hit me, smash that like button and subscribe for more deep dives into the films that changed everything. Next up, we're tackling another cinematic game changer that sparked a firestorm. Any guesses? Hit the bell so you don't miss it.